Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Wherever you are, just stand up and worship.
Alone in my sorrow and dead in my sin, lost without hope and no place to begin. Your love made a way to let mercy come in. When death was arrested, my life began. Ash was redeemed, only beauty remains. My orphan heart was given a name. My mourning grew quiet, my feet rose to dance. When death was arrested, my life began. Oh, your grace so free washes over me. You have made me new, now life begins with you. It's your endless love pouring down on us. You have made us new, now life begins with you. Released from my chain, I'm a prisoner no more. My shame was a ransom He faithfully bore. He canceled my sin and He called me His friend. When death was arrested and my life began. Oh, your grace is so free, washes over me. You have made me new, now life begins with you. Oh, it's your endless love pouring down on us. You have made us new, now life begins with you. Our Savior displayed on a criminal's cross, and darkness rejoiced as though heaven had lost. But then Jesus arose with the freedom in hand. Yeah, that's when death was arrested and my life began. Yeah. Oh, your grace so free washes over me. You have made me new, now life begins with you. Sing it. It's your endless love, oh, pouring down on us. You have made us new, now life begins with you. Oh, yeah. We're free, free, forever we're free. Come join the song of all the redeemed. Oh, we're free, free, forever, amen. When death was arrested and my life began. Oh, we're free, free, forever we're free. Come join the song of all the redeemed. Yes, we're free, free, forever, amen. Yeah, death was arrested and my life began. When death was arrested and my life began. When death was arrested and my life began. Amen. How great the chasm that lay between us. How high the mountain I could not climb. In desperation, I turned to heaven and spoke your name into the night. Then through the darkness, your loving kindness tore through the shadows of my soul. The work is finished, the end is written. Oh, Jesus Christ, my living hope. Who could imagine so great a mercy? What heart could fathom such boundless grace? The God of ages stepped down from glory to wear my sin and bear my shame. The cross has spoken, I am forgiven. The King of Kings calls me his own. Beautiful Savior, I'm yours forever. Oh, Jesus Christ, my living hope. And hallelujah, praise the one who set me free. Hallelujah, death has lost its grip on me. You have broken every chain. There's salvation in your name, Jesus Christ, my living hope. And hallelujah, praise the one who set me free. Hallelujah, death has lost its grip on me. You have broken every chain. There's salvation in your name, Jesus Christ, my living hope. Then came the morning that sealed the promise. Your very body began to breathe. Out of the silence, the roaring lion declared the grave has no claim on me. Then came the morning that sealed the promise. Your very body began to breathe. Out of the silence, the roaring lion declared the grave has no claim on me. Jesus, yours is the victory. Oh, yeah. And hallelujah, praise the one who set me free. Hallelujah, death has lost its grip on me. You have broken every chain. There's salvation in your name, oh, Jesus Christ, my living hope. Well, hallelujah, praise the one who set me free. Oh, hallelujah, death has lost its grip on me. Oh, you have broken every chain. There's salvation in your name, oh, Jesus Christ, my living hope. Jesus Christ, my living hope. Oh God, you are my living hope.
sure by now, God, you would have reached down and wiped our tears away, stepped in and saved the day. But once again, I say amen, and it's still raining. And as the thunder rolls, I barely hear you whisper through the rain, I'm with you. And as your mercy falls, I raise my hands and praise the God who gives and takes away. And I will praise you in this storm, and I will lift my hands, for you are who you are, no matter where I am. And every tear I've cried, you hold in your hand. You never left my side, and though my heart is torn, I will praise you in this storm. I remember when I stumbled in the wind. You heard my cry to you and raised me up again. My strength is almost gone. How can I carry on if I can't find you? And as the thunder rolls, I barely hear you whisper through the rain, I'm with you. And as your mercy falls, I'll raise my hands and praise the God who gives and takes away. And I will praise you in this storm, and I will lift my hands, for you are who you are, no matter where I am. And every tear I've cried, you hold in your hands. You never left my side, and though my heart is torn,
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our worship service on this Sunday, March the 29th. I'm delighted that you chose to be with us today, and it's a privilege to be sharing this time with you. I'll be speaking this morning out of Jeremiah 17, but I first of all want to reflect with you just a minute, if you'll allow me, a little personal reminiscence of when Jennifer and I were on the coast living there when Katrina occurred. We evacuated like so many other people and went to North Mississippi State with her brother. And I went back as soon as I could, which was about 48 hours later. It was really impressive to me and fascinating, and something I want to share with you, that before I left, I distinctly remember, never forget that I told the boys who were small at the time, we might not have a home when we get back, but that we would, again, one day, that God would take care of us, for them not to worry. And I drove down there, leaving Jennifer and the children with her brother's family, and thank God our house was spared, unlike so many other people's. That'll free me up to do some things with the National Guard and the United Methodist Church and the local church that I never would have been able to do. It was touching to me that everybody, when we passed the roadblocks or we went through a back road, and however we were able to get back quick, after we checked our own houses, we went to the church. We went to see if we could find our sisters and brothers in the faith. There was no web. The cell phone towers were down. We couldn't communicate, so we went to the church. And I never will forget the outpouring of people that really were digging out at the same time. They were trying to help other people. It was an impressive thing. There's some lessons today for us, I think, that certainly I walked away from that experience, and I want to share with you. And I remember this incident out of Jeremiah 17 being really valuable to me at this time. I think I shared it more than once since then, and I'd like to share with you today. In Jeremiah 17, Jeremiah's city, which was Jerusalem, was under siege in a state of panic and turmoil, somewhat like the situation that we find ourselves from a different adversary right now. And all the way from the king on down, the response, which is a human natural response, is very much out of fear and anxiety. Jeremiah says the word of the Lord came to him. You'll find this in Jeremiah 17, that Jeremiah is told to go to his uncle, and to buy a field from him. Because, as he is told from the Lord, once again, vines and gardens will again flourish in the city. And Jeremiah does what he's told. And sure enough, there came a time where once again vines and vineyards and gardens flourished again in Jerusalem. This time that we're in, we can do what Jeremiah did, which is to respond in faith or react in fear. We can respond in faith, or we can react in fear. There are consequences if we react in fear. Later on in that scripture, the account reads that there were many people that felt like they could flee to Egypt and be safe there. Jeremiah receives a word from the Lord. He tells the king this. He says, if you flee, if you're here, I can take care of you. But God says, if you flee, if you don't respond faithfully, then the thing that you fear will overtake you there. So there's some things to learn from Jeremiah about responding in faith versus reacting in fear. I want to share with you some ways that all of us can do this as individuals first. Number one, look out for somebody other than yourself. It is appropriate to look after ourselves. There are precautions we have to take. Filling up the gas, getting in and out of Walmart, getting around, social distancing. But social distancing doesn't mean social isolation. And there's a consequence for getting too isolated. So I want you to take care of yourself, but also lift your head up and take care of others. Even if you're living by yourself, even if you're elderly, you can pray, you can use the phone. A lot of ways that we can look after our fellow man. And secondly, support your local businesses. If there's a favorite restaurant, if there is a drive-through, if there's a mom and pop grocery store or whatever, perhaps they're open on a limited basis, but you could still share with them. You could share an encouraging word. You could bless them and say, "Hey, can I pray with you?" You can share and support locally. Thirdly, go ahead and make an investment. This may be a great time for those of you that do that, or for those of you that don't, perhaps to look at this as a way to respond financially rather than react in fear. Last but not least, remember that the tithe is a powerful, powerful thing in so many different levels. That is, to 10% of what God gives us, we return to the storehouse. We share of that. David said when he was offered something freely, that at a time he was told to build an altar at a certain place of commerce, and had to move through some obstacles of that. Somebody said, "Well, David, I'll just pay for it. I'll take care of that for you." And David said, "I'm not going to offer anything. I'm not going to make an offering of that which does not cost me." And I have always felt like that was something that at first is difficult to practice, but in faith, that response in faith frees up in so many different levels, not only a blessing for us spiritually, but also in its own way, a sowing and a reaping later. So I wanted to share with you, there are just a number of ways we can respond right now rather than react. I want to share with you how Mineral Wells is choosing to respond rather than react. Our PB&J ministry last week went fabulously. It was so remarkable. We had 100 pounds of jelly and peanut butter and bread that were distributed to the most vulnerable in our area. So like this church, to love like Jesus was. That's who you are. That's what we do. Not perfectly, but as best as humanly possible. And we decided to remember those, and we're doing that. Secondly, and we're doing this through social media. We are engaging. We're responding rather than reacting. And our social media platform, which we had, but we've really amazingly have upgraded this in a remarkable way within the last week. We need there are a number of people to shout out to for this, but Ben Larson and some other folks have done a fantastic job in putting us together a presence over Facebook. It'll continue to expand and get better, so stay tuned. As you are watching this, there'll be other ways that we can connect till this time has passed, and once again, vineyards and gardens and our economy is back up to speed. Last but not least, we are going to be engaged with this community in a real tangible way. Our drive-through communion went fabulous, was a wonderful symbol and witness last Sunday as we prudently, hygienically, but still physically offered communion to those who could drive through and pick this up, literally driving through. We had guests that were on site, and we're so appreciative. And we're going to stay responding rather than reacting. To keep responding in faith than reacting in fear. I want to leave you with a quote from a 94-year-old doctor. I heard, gosh, this has been 10, 20 years ago now, but way back before there was antibiotics and antimalarials and all our good medicine that we're so blessed with to have access to now. He graduated from Harvard Medical, and rather than taking a traditional medical career, he went to a part of the world that was very dangerous at that time as a medical missionary. And he said, everybody told me not to go. Everybody said, out of their own anxiety and fear, don't go, do not go. And someone went so far as to say, you're going to die down there. And he went anyway. And I never will forget, as a 94-year-old vigorous doctor, he stood up. He said, I want you to know that out of grace, he said, I have outlived them all. Let's respond in faith rather than react out of fear. And once again, vines and gardens will flourish again. Hey, God bless. Have a great day today. I'll see you soon.